Hi, welcome to your next beginner's session. So we're going to go back to what we did at the beginning. We're going to think about our alignment and we're going to progress with adding some additional moves. So bring yourself to your mat and remember that alignment. Let's place our feet together, squeeze the inner thighs nice and tight, and turn the toes to the corner of the room and realign those heels. When your feet are under your hips, make sure you've got that nice neutral pelvis, so not tilted too far forward, not too far back. Remember how we talked about finding that position. Core nicely braced. Remember not holding that breath, sucking it in. And we roll those shoulders back and down. We stand nice and tall. Remember that bit of string pulling us up from the vertebrae. Let's focus in on that breath before we start. Nice deep breath in and out, feeling that diaphragm lift and lower. Now, as I said on previous videos, make sure you go back to video 1 and you mobilize the body before you start. Good. Because on these sessions, we're going to take you through straight to the new moves so we can add on those moves as we go. So when we've found that alignment, I'm going to bring ourselves to face our sideways position because we're going to start again with that roll down. So in our nice alignment, we're going to bring our chin to chest and we're going to slowly roll the body down, one vertebrae at a time. Taking it down as far as you feel comfortable. If that means stopping part way, that's absolutely fine. And then restacking the spine. Head comes up last, nice big shoulder roll. And again we go, rolling one vertebrae at a time, thinking about that articulation through the spine. And you find your lowest point, hold it there, that nice deep breath in. And as you breathe out, restack the spine. Head comes up last, nice big shoulder roll. Really good. So this time we're going to take ourselves all the way down to the mat. So you take yourself down however feels comfortable for you. If you can, you roll yourself down that little bit further until we can reach the mat. We take our hands forward and we drop down onto our knees. So this is how we would bring ourselves down. Obviously, if you struggle to take yourself all the way down in the roll down, then feel free to bring yourself down whatever way feels comfortable for you. Now, today we're going to start with our side lying work. So we're going to lay ourselves down. If you need to put a cushion under your hip or a rolled up towel, please feel free to. We're going to lay ourselves down like we did with our previous clam move, but this time we are going to lengthen our top leg. Lower leg can stay bent. As we progress, we will change that position of that lower leg. Now from here, we still think alignment. So we want to think about our hips being stacked, one on top of the other. We want to think about our shoulders being stacked, one on top of the other. So we're not rounding the shoulder forward. We're not rounding backwards. We've got that nice alignment. And the reason for that is in that nice alignment, the muscles of the core and the back have to work to stabilize you in your side lying position. If you're not in alignment, these muscles don't have to work to stabilize. So we're going to get that nice alignment. We're going to lengthen our top leg. So we want to lengthen. We want to think about someone's pulling our toes. We want to get that length as much as you possibly can. And from here, we're going to take a nice deep breath in. As we breathe out, we're going to lift that leg up to about hip height, just over. We're going to flex our foot and we're going to lower it back down. Now we don't lift too high. If you are lifting too high, what will happen is your pelvis will tilt backwards. That changes our alignment position. So we don't want to go too high. We want to make sure we stay stacked. So the distance you go will be different for everybody. So we're going to lift, flex and lower. Good. So this movement, our side lying position, we're working muscles of the core and the back to stabilize the body. We're working that alignment. And we're also starting to target the muscles through the glutes, the hips to stabilize the pelvis. So keeping that nice length, really think about the length through the leg. Lovely, we've got 8. Nice and controlled. Think about the breath as well. Exhale as you lift. Inhale as you lower. We've got 4. Making sure those hips stay in nice alignment. 3. 2. Good, last one. Give it a little shake out on the hip if you need to. We're going to roll ourselves onto our back now. Now when we're in our back, we still want to remember our alignment. So we're going to bring our feet hip distance and we're going to go back to that pelvis. We're going to think about the pelvis as we did in our standard position with that tilt of our pelvis. We're going to do that again here. So if I tilt my pelvis, push my bottom into the mat, I'm going to increase that arch through my spine. My pelvis is tilting. If I now tuck my towel under, tipping my pelvis towards the ceiling, I'm going to push my back down into the mat. So I want you just to take it through a few of those movements, tilting that pelvis. This helps release through the lower back as well at any time you need to. So just rocking that pelvis to and fro. And you want to find that midway position just as you did in standing. So when you find that midway position, we hold there. Now we should still have that natural curve in the back, in our spine, but it's not overextended at all. Now, I want you to place your thumb and your finger down on your pelvis. Your thumb is going to sit on the bottom of your rib cage and your fingertip is going to go onto your hip bone. Now think of those as our springs. That position is our spring. We're going to hold it here. So that distance remains the same with our spring. We're going to take a nice deep breath in. And as we breathe out, we start with just the pelvic tilt. So we tuck our towel under our legs and we close that spring down a little. And then we bring it back to neutral. Nice deep breath in. As you exhale, tuck your towel between your legs. Squeeze that spring in. And then bring it back to neutral. Now remembering our hips are in line. Our knees are in line with our hips. And again, tuck that spring under. Tuck that towel under, closing off the spring, and then release it back to neutral. Now we're going to increase this slightly. So we're going to tuck our towel between our legs, and we're going to slowly lift the pelvis slightly from the mat. So we push down into our feet to lift the hips. So as you can see, I've lifted slightly. I hope you can see that. And then we're going to lower it back down. And we go again, tuck the towel between the legs. We exhale as we push into the feet. And we are lifting the tailbone. And we are lowering. So we're going to stay here for a few reps. Just getting used to that feeling. Now what I want you to think about again is that alignment. So I want you to think about articulating through the spine. Tuck the tailbone under. Peel the vertebrae one by one. But this time we're peeling from the base of the spine. And we lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Now when we've got you used to that movement, we're going to lift that bit higher. So we exhale, tuck that tailbone under, we lift. Keep lifting up as high as you can go. Now when you're in that top position, just hold it for a moment. You want to check that your hip bones is in alignment with the middle of your knee. So we're in nice alignment and our hips are level. Do not let one hip drop. This means we're equally distributing that weight and the hips are working in alignment. And then we're going to lower it down one vertebrae at a time. And again, nice deep breath in. As you exhale, tuck that tailbone under. Lift. Hold in that top position. Check your hips are in nice alignment. And then slowly lower it down. Good. Now you bring it up to that height that you feel comfortable. We've got a few more here. Now I really want you to think about articulating the spine. So that vertebrae lifts. This starts with the tuck of the tailbone. Peel one vertebrae at a time. Hold in your top position. Squeeze the glutes as you hold. And slowly lower it back down one vertebrae at a time. And the tailbone comes down last. Really nice. We've got a few more here. Good. Last one. Nice and controlled. Lovely. Release it all the way down. Feel free to hug the knees to the chest. Circle the knees round if you need. Just releasing off. Really good. And when you're ready, we're going to bring ourselves to our side again. Make sure you change sides so you can just roll to face the other way. I'm going to bring myself up, turn myself round, just so you can still see me. And I'm going to lay myself down. Again, remember, if you need something under your hip, feel free to. Shoulders stacked, hips stacked, lower leg can remain bent. Now lengthen through that top leg. Make sure we've got that nice alignment. Here we go, nice deep breath in. As we exhale, we lift, we flex and we lower. Think about reaching through the foot as far as you can. So all of this is strengthening the muscles that stabilize the pelvis. They're going to keep that good alignment for us. They're going to distribute the workload through the body evenly. Use that breath. The core and the back are learning to stabilize you in this position. Good. Exhale as you lift. Inhale as you lower. You've got 4. Really nice. Make sure we're not rounding forwards. We've got 3. I'm checking my hip position. 2. And 1. Release it down. Give it a little shake if you need. Really nice. Just pushing yourself up to seated. Really, really good. And again, we're going to sit nice and tall on that tailbone. We're going to lengthen those legs. We're going to reach up. We're going to take a nice deep breath in. As we breathe out, we're going to round forwards, just releasing into the spine. Take our spine stretch. Hold here. Focus on the breath. You do not need to reach your feet. You are reaching forward as far as you can. Let me give you that side view. So again, sitting tall on that tailbone, we lift. We reach forwards. So we are stretching through the backs of the legs. We're taking that spine stretch, getting that movement and that space between those vertebrae. And release. We go again. So extend. Nice deep breath in as you exhale, reaching forwards. And then release. Really good. We're going to finish just by taking that spine rotation. So again, sit tall, extend those arms. Nice deep breath in. As you exhale, we rotate. And again, we are isolating the upper body, the trunk of the body. The hips are still. And then changing directions. One more. Lovely. Bring it back to center. Release those arms. Now we take a nice deep breath in. Inhale as we lift those arms. Exhale. Release. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. Good. Last one. Inhale. As we exhale, bring those hands together and slowly draw them down towards the heart. Really well done. That's fantastic effort. That's the end of session 3. We will continue to progress, adding moves on. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next video.